I'm going to talk about one way I think your employer is cheating you. What I mean by employer is a few employees that knowingly fail at their jobs and result in cheating you out of your money. So, how do I think your employer may be cheating you? It's through your retirement plan deductions from your paycheck. You may have a 401k plan, or if your employer is a nonprofit organization, a 403b plan, or a 457 plan if it's a government entity. Here's the problem. The workforce isn't what it used to be, or what I think it used to be. Maybe it always was this way and I wasn't aware of it. A lot of employees in these administrative roles that handle this type of responsibility don't give a crap about doing their job correctly. And another part of the problem is managers will hire their friends into these roles because the workforce is more about forming cliques, sides, or racial groups or gender groups. Unfortunately, most times these people are unqualified, complacent, and barely know to perform their job's most basic functions, which in this case are deposits of the retirement plan deductions from your paycheck. Nor do they want to put in the effort to learn how to perform these basic functions. But I guess if someone is handing over a job to you with little effort, why would you care about accountability? I guess it just goes hand in hand. So here's the deal. Companies face federal penalties for missed or late deposits to your retirement plan. And because of that, an incompetent administrator is less likely to make a late deposit for fear of this penalty. And the penalty is public. It goes on a public document, tax form, that is posted to the government's website for all to see. And some won't make the deposit just because they don't even care. It won't even have anything to do with the penalty from the government or your manager reprimanding you for causing the penalty. So they'll just skip over your missed deposit and hope you don't notice it. They'll have no ill feelings about it, don't even think it's wrong. This means the company actually keeps your deposit, just pockets it, just keeps the money. I know it sounds hard to believe, but it's 100% true. So you're probably wondering, doesn't the manager check their work? But the managers are just as incompetent as the people they handed the job over to. And you're also probably wondering, well, doesn't it get caught by the accounting department? Isn't that something they would see a discrepancy in? They can, if the accounting department knows how to manage a retirement plan. And most times they don't, because it's not their profession. The plan administrator is the one that needs to reconcile the deductions from employees' paychecks and the deposits made to the retirement plan. It sounds easy, doesn't it? But it's not. Well, it's not rocket science, but it does require planning and regular maintenance, something that will be very challenging to a lazy person. And you do have to know a little bit about plan administration. It's not, I don't want to make it seem like it's a really simple thing. It's just this number comes out, this number goes in, and that's it. There are always adjustments when payroll is run. There could be errors in the software. It could be all kinds of things that cause it to not be such a simple task. So it does require some logical thinking, some math skills, and how to use software and how the retirement plan is actually managed. There's more to it. There's salaries that wages that don't qualify for the deduction. So it's a lot that really goes into it. So it's not as simple. I don't want to make it seem like it's a simple task. But if you've taken the position to run this, then you should know how to do it. And that's the problem. They're not putting people in these positions that either know how to do it or have the experience because they're too busy hiring their friends or not recognizing that these people can't handle this type of position, and it cheats the employee. That's the victim in this case. And maybe that's why they don't care. So therefore, you're going to have to do what the manager should be doing, which is making sure your deposits are made and made timely. Whichever plan you have of the three plans or another type of plan, a simple plan, the plans for small employers, you need to check your retirement plan statement each pay period to make sure your payroll deduction is actually being deposited. and make sure the amount matches the deduction taken from your paycheck. So make sure you look at your paycheck amount and make sure it matches the deposit amount. And if your company has a match, you need to make sure you see the match as well. The match may not be deposited the same day as yours. Some employees might put their match in on a different date. They have a little more leeway of putting the match in versus the time they have to put yours in. If the amount taken from your paycheck is always the same amount each pay period because you may be a salaried employee, then you have to make sure you check the date of the deposit to see if it's the most recent deposit that corresponds to your pay date, meaning the deposit should be made within approximately 4 days after your pay date. Ask your HR department when is the scheduled retirement deposit date after payday, so you'll know what day you can start checking, what day you can start checking after. There are laws that govern the timing of these deposits, so they can't just deposit the funds whenever they want to. And don't just look at your statement balance, because your balance will change with the stock market. If the stock market is up, your balance will be up in value as well. And you'll think that's the deposit, and that won't be the case. It's just your earnings. And then you look at your statement and another day later or whatever, the balance could change, go down or up then as well. You have to actually look at the section that shows your deposit detail. It'll be itemized by date. So be sure to check as often as possible, preferably each pay period or at least once a month. Just check regularly. Find out if your plan provider has a deposit notification feature that'll let you know that a deposit has been made on your behalf by your employer. That would be a great feature to have. Further, be sure to educate yourself on how long you have to recover any missed deposits from your employer. So if the employer has a match and they didn't match your contribution and you waited a year or two and noticed it, the statute of limitation of getting that deposit could be up. You don't have forever to get this money from employers. So I strongly recommend that you read your plan's agreement, because it gives you specific details on how the plan is administered. Your company has to follow the rules in the plan's agreement. They would need to legally amend the agreement to make changes. They can't just send you an email making changes that conflict with the plan. You have, educate yourself. Everything is about knowing. Don't let them just tell you anything. You can actually hold them accountable by highlighting a section in the plan, and then they'll know to do the right thing, because they can get in big trouble by not following the plan. Plans are approved by the government as well. And for more information regarding retirement plans in general, you can check out documents like ERISA on the federal government's website. Well, I hope this was very helpful for you. And make sure you keep an eye out and make sure when you retire, that your money is there for you, that the company doesn't get to pocket your money. Not that they're doing it on purpose. The company overall isn't doing it on purpose, but you can have a few pockets of employees that don't do what they're supposed to be doing for whatever reason that they're doing it, out of fear, out of incompetence, complacency. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're the one that's losing the money. So you want to make sure you have all your money that is due to you, that you've earned and should be growing in your plan. Thank you for listening. Please hit the like button and subscribe.